Hi, it's Ray. I've read several books about startups, and here's my favorite ones. I'm just gonna quickly go through each of them and tell you a little bit about each. And I just want you to know which books I enjoyed the most and which I think are absolutely must read for every beginner aspiring entrepreneur. First one is the 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Pretty amazing book. I loved it. I've enjoyed it. It is pretty basic. It will inspire you and get you a general idea of how to move from the, like Tim calls it, day job of doom to the freelance to your business. It has a lot of advices about productivity and how to start your business, and it is surprisingly brilliant and witty. I I mean, when you read the title for our work week, you don't expect much from the book, but it is really amazing, uh, clever and pretty cool. So I highly recommend you to read it. I think it's one of the books where you should start your startup path from. It's pretty cool. It explains a lot. So the next one is Rework. I'm actually reading it right now, and I'm enjoying it very much. When I read it, I kind of knew most of the stuff that they are talking about, but it's very nice that they are explaining a very basic, general, real truth about business and startup in a very concise, in a very clever way, and I just love it. Just brilliant explanation of. It's a collection of advices on how to be productive and how to run your business, and I mean it's really clever. I loved it, so it's great. Next one is Abundance. The future is better than you think. I also love this book very much. It's amazing, and I think you need it the most in case you are looking for the ideas for your startup. It explains all the futuristic areas and what you can expect of them into the several years from now. So you can read there about stuff like about biotechnology, about energy, and about all the major fields of human existence that are improved by technology and where each of these fields is going. So if you haven't chosen yet in which area to create your startup, this is a great place to start looking for ideas, to get inspired, and yeah, basically that. Next one is Personal MBA. Also, I love this book. Honestly, I haven't finished it yet, but it is. I got a pretty good idea what it is about, and it's definitely one of my favorite ones. It is just clear, no bullshit explanation of the basic business principles condensed into one book. I mean, Rework and 4 Hour Work Week are amazing collection of advices. They are inspiring. They are extremely clever. This book is just takes you from the start to finish. It talks about all the areas of business, starting with producing value, with what kind of value you can produce, then with marketing and etc. So it just goes through the every stage of the business and just basically gives you a clear explanation of what it is about. So if you want to know just a general idea of what businesses are and how to run them and just understand the solid, very solid basic foundation, there you go. This is a book to read. And the next one is the Lean Startup. It is pretty popular book. Well, they all are pretty popular, but Lean Startup is is definitely great. Just check it out. It's a little bit hard to explain. It tells a lot about the principles of running the lean startup. It gives a lot of useful advices about stuff like choosing the right direction in your startup, and also productivity, and it it just gives you the basic mindset of how to think about startups and how to operate, because it just explains that startup is not like a real business, in a way that the main goal of startup is learning. So instead of thinking about value you produce, like in terms of physical goods or conversions, or in terms of how much money you make, you measure the progress in terms of learning, in terms of how much you learn about your field and your startup, about what it is about and how to make it work. And it gives you great advices about how to learn quickly, and how to make the decisions in the time of uncertainty. It really inspired me. I wrote it here. Visits spaceship versus car metaphor. I've enjoyed it. It talks about the spaceship. Imagine you're launching the spaceship, and you need to calculate every little movement beforehand. You need to calculate every single little detail before you're launching it. And they compare it to the car, to driving a car to work, and there is so much, there's a lot of different variables you have to understand when you're driving a car. So you cannot just set a clear program of driving the car beforehand and just close your eyes and execute it. You are designing, as opposed to the spaceship where you execute everything, understand everything beforehand. When you're driving a car, you just give you the yourself a general direction, and just start moving there, and you deal with most of the stuff that comes up as you go. So if you see some pedestrian or some car moving in your way, you just gonna steer away from them, and this is much more productive and easier way to operate things that you do, as opposed to understanding everything in the advance and trying to collect all the information ever before you even begin. So, yep, there you go. These are my favorite books. I've loved them. I think they gonna be very valuable to you too. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good time.